Sometimes when a potter opens the kiln, they're greeted with a great success story. This pumpkin is one example. I've posted the making of it on my channel earlier this summer, and it came out of the kiln and I was incredibly happy with it. But that's not always the case, and I thought I would make a video about some of my recent setbacks, especially with one load that I did recently, which was mostly black clay. So I had several requests to see this piece when it was glazed. It's the black clay Nautilus bowl. And I thought I'd take this opportunity to talk about one of my personal heartbreaks, which is when the glaze doesn't turn out the way you expect it to. So this was supposed to be basically breaking to black, and then where it was thicker was supposed to be sort of a streaky blue. And it could be because I made a mistake making up the glaze, but I don't think I did. But really, I find being a amateur potter, getting control of the kiln and making sure it's consistent is one of my biggest challenges. Another piece that I made with the black clay, and you can see the blue that it was supposed to be, but you can also see that it's got, I don't know, hundreds or thousands of tiny little bubbles at the surface. So it could never be considered food safe. It's not terrible to look at, but also not ideal. I'm really not a big fan of that brownish, yellow, greenish color. I'd much rather it look black. Another piece from that sort of section of work that I did with black clay. This is just the original glaze by itself, whereas the other two pieces I had actually reglazed and refired. And you can see in some of the detail you almost get a crystalline gold effect. And sadly, for this being a luminary, the glaze actually filled in some of the holes, which I'm gonna light it up because the glaze ended up being a golden color, you can actually still see through it. So it might not be terrible to light up at night, but I'm not sure whether I'd want to look at it during the day. I'm just not a big fan of that. If it was the 70s, it probably would be pretty popular, but nowadays I'm not so sure. And these are the witches' cauldrons that I made. And again, really happy with the way they were thrown and finished. They were supposed to be the streaky blue, sort of looking like they were bubbling over the top, and not what I had in mind when I threw them. I'd probably use them for Halloween, but that's it. One more, which was the so-called witch's ramen bowl. And again, it doesn't look horrible. I'm not a fan of that color. Some people might be. I like the swirl of blue in the middle, but the surface is so bubbly. So I would probably keep it and haul it out at Halloween, but it can never be considered food safe. And if I refire it, I might actually just completely ruin it. So it's one of those quandaries. I'm not sure what the best next step to do other than a wall of epic fails. Maybe I could decorate the walls of my garage, which is where I do all my glazing. This is a earlier one that I've posted on my channel here, and the colors are amazing. I love this glaze, but if you can see, the surface has many little pinholes or blisters or bubbles, and again, not food safe. This one I would say would be a cool decoration. Here's my last piece of broken heart. And again, this one is a different glaze, but gorgeous colors. But sadly, there are little pinholes in the surface, and that's something that just can't be accepted. So again, I might have a wall of sad pottery and decorate my garage with it.